So with chapter six coming to conclusion with um, the three episodes and then the special, I got to thinking, the way they presented those three episodes and everything, how they interconnected, more so than I think the other ones, is mainly the fact because from what I could tell, and I've talked about this before on numerous occasions. It almost feels like this, in a way, the Isle of Scaly and the Roots of Abel, part one and two. It almost feels like to me like those could have served as a sequel, like not an official sequel, but mainly like a semi sequel. Like it has the same vibes and everything that the movie does. Um, True, the animation wasn't the same. It was similar, not at that same regal level. It's easy for me to say, regal level that the movie was at. But still, the animation was a lot better than normal. You can see a lot more effort was put into it, and also the fact that you know the songs were really good. The songs were excellent. I mean, you could tell, but music wise, that in the fifth and sixth chapters, they were really picking up with the songs. The songs felt more like what you would traditionally associate with recent generations of My Little Pony, like Generation 4, and now this one. So to me, when I look at chapter 6 here, and not counting Secrets of Starlight, when I look at the three episodes, again, I think when you connect them together, like seamlessly, like if you edited them together seamlessly, you would have yourself a movie. That's basically what you have here. I mean, the reason I say that is because I go back to something I mentioned before about the return of Optimus Prime from G4. I mean G1, I should say G1 of Transformers. And I remember one time going into a Blockbuster, and I think it was like the first year or two I lived in Kansas with my dad. I mean, I lived there before previously, but only temporarily with my entire family. And then, of course, in '94, moved out there on my own, or was sent out there on my own due to personal reasons to live with my dad. But anyway, I remember we would go to the Blockbuster in Topeka, Kansas. And I remember one night I looked there and I rented it. I saw from Family Home Entertainment, FHE, Transformers The Return of Optimus Prime VHS. So I knew I just had to rent it. And my dad let me. But what I read on the back really got me. What I read on the back is it said, enjoy this anticipated sequel to Transformers the movie. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, this is the sequel? I'm thinking, wait, I'm like, wait, so we did, so again, because it really threw me off a little bit. I'm thinking, this is the sequel. This is the sequel. Doesn't feel like it. But as I watched it and kind of put things together, even back then, I think that's like 94, 95. I was putting things together in my mind. Little did I realize that it did kind of make sense to be, kind of a pseudo, kind of semi-official sequel to the film because it was bringing back Optimus Prime because of the backlash, his death got in the movie, but also the story, just based on the fact that it was only two episodes, 44 minutes in total. The story itself did kind of warrant, being like a feature film, even though it could be looked at as a mini movie. I mean, yeah, the animation styles in both episodes were different because you could tell they had to rush this out. But again, just the fact that you had this mysterious ancient hate plague from space affecting everybody across the galaxy, including the main Transformer heroes and the humans and stuff. To to know you had that kind of a cosmic climax event, easy for me to say, occurring, and then of course to culminate, you have Stan Bush's "The Touch" being played during the climax. You put that all together, and it was like, yeah, this does serve as a sequel. It really does. And and I'm not trying to get off topic here, but the reason again I bring that up and I bring up all that detail is mainly the fact that you kind of get that same vibe with these 3 episodes, Isle of Scaly and Roots of Evil 1 and 2, you get that same kind of feeling that this could serve and be looked at as a pseudo semi-official sequel to New Generation. And then when you add in all the gaps that need to be that have to be filled in by watching Tell Your Tale, and then you could kind of say that yeah, this does serve, as a sort of semi-sequel, semi-official sequel to New Generation. I mean, you had a villain song in there for Opaline. You had the Magic and Us song at the end. I mean, you covered a lot. I mean, a lot of bases were covered here. So again, when you really think about it, New Generation, basically 3 years later, got a sequel. Even though it was probably not intended to be viewed as a sequel, it's a sequel. And that sequel, was the ending of season 1, chapter 6, the first 3 episodes of chapter 6, you know, uh, basically, I guess I don't know what they would call it, but basically the dragon chapter or whatever it is, the fire chapter, if you will. I don't know what they would call it, but basically, yeah, Isle of Scale, Roots of Evil 1 and 2 could be looked at as the sequel, the unofficial, unapologetic sequel. As I took my time there, if you heard a click, of Make Your Mark. I'm not Make Your Mark of New Generation. It could be looked at as that, and I don't think anybody honestly would bat an eye when you think about it. I don't think anybody really would bat an eye at the fact that if this comes out on Blu-ray or 4K or DVD, and Shout Factory puts on the back, or Netflix Home Video puts on the back, enjoy the sequel to New Generation, in the description, in the synopsis, I don't think anybody would complain. I think people would actually be happy with that. And and again, to really emphasize, it could be looked at as that you would have to take some of the Tell Your Tale episodes or mini episodes and mini-sodes, as they call them. You'd have to take those episodes and kind of put them in order, which shouldn't be too hard, to figure out what goes where to fully complete it. And when you think like, oh wait a minute, they're like 5 minutes, something like that, and what is that, like 3, 4 of them, like 5, 10, 15, 20, you'd be looking at somewhat of a, you piece those together along with these 3 episodes, and you'd be looking at a full movie. Because these episodes are 22 minutes in length, so you got 66, then you add that, you have basically like an 86-minute movie, which could, like I say, serve as a semi-pseudo official, sequel. It can. So, I know it sounds like I made no sense there or blabbed just a little bit, but point I'm getting at is I think we did get a sequel to New Generation, and that sequel was Chapter 6's finale, combined with the episodes, the minisodes, if you will, of Tell Your Tale for Chapter 6. But let me know what your thoughts are. Do you think I'm onto something here? Do you agree? Let me know down below in the comments as well as in the live chat during the premiere. Like the video. Love to hear from each and every one of you on this. And until next time, I will talk to you all later. God bless. Take care.